Come on. Come on. You want to do a vlog with Dad? Come on. Yeah? Yeah? Come on then. I'll carry you. Oh my God. Let's do this. Yeah? How are we going to do this? Huh? How should we do this? Not like that. So, I'm all packed, pretty much good to go. I've got my stuff just over there, all ready to go. It's kind of sad. I don't want to go. I've done a scour of the room, everything is packed. This is an Airbnb place actually. I chose an Airbnb place over a hotel. It was slightly cheaper, and I just prefer staying in a place rather than in a hotel. The hotels are right next to the convention center, but I like to get away a bit from the town. So yeah, I think it worked out pretty well. They announced yesterday that the next conference is going to be in Vegas, so I'm actually looking forward to that. I was in Vegas last year. I preferred the layout of Vegas to this year. Everything was in one place. Because of that, there's a critical mass of people, and you really feel the scale of the event, which is what I sort of lost this year. I felt there were lots more people here this year, but it felt like it was like half the number. So yeah, but now starts the long journey home. I'm flying to Dallas, then I'm flying to London Heathrow. Then when I get to London, I've got a train journey home. And then we're gonna have Toby at the end of this vlog. He's gonna make a return. Hiya, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Very good.
Absolutely. Airport, I'm assuming?
Yeah, absolutely. You got it.
Yeah.
Cheers. So this long queue is because essentially the American Airlines system seemed to have gone down, so you can only check your bags in at the desk. So everyone's here. We've all got boarding passes, but we have to check our bags in, so no can do.
Today is scheduled for 8 hours and 4 minutes, reaching a planned cruise altitude of 29,000 feet.
Okay, I'm going to try and do this in one take, okay? If you behave with me, this will be good, I promise, okay? I'll give you a nice, big, fat bone. He's bored already. Jesus. Okay, this bodes well. So, I'm back in Colchester. I promised I'd do a vlog with Toby, and here he is. Now, it's roughly a week and a half since I came back from conference. It's been really interesting. So when you come back from conference, one of the things you have to do is sort of reflect, and there's been a ton of people doing reflections. It's been really good to read the different perspectives. I think different people had different experiences, so it's absolutely worth reading all of them, because people will see things that maybe you don't, and it also increases your perspective of how the event works. Toby, you don't want to do the vlog anymore? Okay, fine. So the main event wasn't feeling it, so I've been demoted to doing the vlog upstairs. So where was I? There are lots of different perspectives from conference, and it's really important to read all of them. You'll notice things that you didn't notice whilst you were there, and it's also good to just talk to people after the conference, because when you're there you can get caught up in the moment, and it's it's often better just to step back, let people think about it, and then have the same discussion again, because you know, different things come out. I think the other thing that's been really valuable that I've spent the whole last week and a half doing is going through some of the stuff I didn't see. So if you go to tclive.tableau.com, you can see all the sessions that were recorded there, as well as the hands-on content in the form of sort of downloadable folders that you can go through, work through, and have a look at. So I've enjoyed watching a couple of the sessions I didn't go to that were in my plan. And it's been really interesting because I felt like I've got the experience of conference, but I haven't missed out on the information that I wanted to see. In terms of what I'd like to see more of, I think this year was interesting because Tableau obviously gave their 3-year vision, and that's sort of good and bad in certain ways. So firstly, it's good because you see the long-term plan. Some of that was really rewarding, really exciting. The not so good stuff is not seeing the things you want to see. So what didn't I see that I wanted to see more of? The first thing is an onboarding experience. An onboarding experience is the kind of experience you get when you open an app for the first time, and it sort of shows you how to use the tool, how to make something, and it makes you do it before you can even go to the rest of the software, right? And I think this is something that Tableau is missing because for users who are already using Tableau, it's just intuitive. You just open it and you start doing stuff straight away. But for people who are using it the first time, it's really difficult to actually understand the philosophy that Tableau has in the way it's sort of built the product, especially if you're coming from something like Excel. A lot of the time you hear people talk about as Tableau as being Excel on drugs, and that's really not the case at all. It's a completely different paradigm, and so you need to sort of onboard users onto that new philosophy and new way of thinking. And I think an onboarding experience for Tableau would be a really useful thing. And I think it will help the kind of users that Tableau needs to get on board for the next few years onto the tool, because I think Tableau is on that sort of verge where it needs to become more of a mainstream product, and the kind of users they have now, well, we're the low-hanging fruit. We're the ones who wanted this stuff in the first place. Now you've got the hard task of convincing people who love other tools to start using it. So I think an onboarding experience would be a really useful thing. The second one is a bit of a strange one, and bear with me on this. I'd actually like Tableau to break down its product into lots of smaller chunks. By that I don't mean start selling me 7 things instead of just 1. I'm talking about making a bunch of software development kits. Basically that's an SDK for developers, and that allows you to use different parts of Tableau when you need to use them, but still have the core product unchanged and untouched. Let me give you an example. In Tableau Server, you have various different processes. One of them is VizQL. This is Gig Talk, so bear with me. One of them is VizQL, and it renders visualizations. Another one, for example, renders the web interface and creates it. Another one manages users. Another one manages data, and so on and so forth. Okay. What if I only want to use parts of that? So you can already do this in some way or form. For example, in the most recent update to the JavaScript API, they allowed you to do something which means you can call data from a data visualization and have it load up in something else like D3. That's great. In the web data connectors, they allowed you to connect Tableau to different data sources on the fly. That's great. But what if, for example, I wanted to use the VizQL part of Tableau Server to render me a visualization, but I fed it the data and I told it where on the web page I wanted it? That's the kind of, functionality I'd like. And the reason that's really useful is because often you get instances where you only want to use a certain part of Tableau because you know it does it really, really well, and you want to have it integrate with something else for interoperability, or maybe you're in an enterprise context where you have to use a certain system for doing certain things. And I think this would really help, especially in advanced use cases and developers. Now, this isn't a mainstream feature, so it's probably not high up the priority list, but this is something I'd love to see more of, because I think it will allow creativity to happen in lots of places it hasn't happened before, especially the web, especially on mobile devices. And I think as we move forward, Tableau's got to give the community more power to take the product in different directions that maybe Tableau's not going to focus on. And I think software development kits would be a great way of doing that. The last thing I'd love to see Tableau focus on is the finish that they put on some of the features they roll out. Let me give you an example. When I first heard the ability to format text or format everything across a workbook, I was so excited. I was so pumped. And then when I started using it, I was like, wait a minute, this isn't what I was expecting at all. It was like the start of the journey. So, what I expected with the workbook formatting was exactly that. The ability to format the entire workbook in one place. To maybe set something called a style sheet. A style sheet is a term that's used in design where basically you prescribe a font, some colors, some rules for every single bit of content, and then Tableau just looks at that every time you start to create a visualization. So maybe you have a color palette, maybe you have a preferred font, maybe you have a preferred set of settings that you use for certain chart types. I'd love that to all be preserved in the form of a style sheet. This isn't a new idea. This isn't something that I've just created now, thought of. This is something that's already out there in the community. So Tableau chose to obviously just release the text formatting capabilities, and I know that they're going to be releasing more formatting capabilities in the future, but why not just focus on it and really go for it, really be ambitious and just double down on that one feature and just do the whole thing. That's my opinion. If you'd rather see features come out in bits rather than having to wait for them, then fair enough. Because on the same hand, there are other features that we have seen that haven't come out that look pretty complete. I'm going to refer to it again. Charts and tooltips, dashboards and tooltips. That was amazing when they showed that almost a year and a half ago now. But it's still not turned up, and they're not releasing that in bits. So yeah, but just, I don't know what's going on. Obviously, maybe these things are hard to phase in. Maybe these features are there, but they're timing them to coincide with other features. Who knows? But I just love to see some of that actually come through as more finished products. Okay, last but not least, this vlog. I've really enjoyed making this vlog for the last 3 weeks now. I'm recording this quite late on. So 3 weeks I've been really devoted to this vlog. I've done about 8 or 9 videos. I have tons of footage. I filled up about 120 gigs worth of space on my phone just recording videos and taking photos. And it's been really, really enjoyable. Now, earlier on I said that I would think about what I'd do at the end of the vlog, with the vlog in total. And I sort of didn't know what content I'd be talking about in the vlog. But I've had a little bit of a thought about it. And in a way, I think there is an avenue for a vlog in the Tableau space. Largely because the whole Tableau community is exactly that. And the community is made of people. And I think it's been really valuable, at least for me, to do this vlog and have to go and meet those people. So purely from a selfish perspective, it's been really valuable for me because it's made me really reflect and look at what's going on and talk about those things. In other terms, I've had lots of great feedback during conference and after conference from people watching and enjoying the content, and that's always welcoming. I really appreciate that because it means I'm not just wasting my time. But also, I think there's a bit of a story to tell around Tableau. I think, compared to other software tools, I really do get the sense that Tableau is a really lively product. And in a way, I think a vlog is a nice way to show that liveliness, because often written form doesn't do it justice, and you really need to see some of this stuff. Tableau is all about seeing and understanding your data, so wouldn't it be great if you could see and understand the experiences for yourself? And that's what I really want to do with the vlog. So I'm not making any commitment to how often or when the next one will be, but I have been thinking about things that I'm going to vlog about, and I've already got a couple of people on the case with a couple of topics, which is great. I love that. If you've got some ideas, drop them in the comments, get in touch. I'd love to talk to you or collaborate on an episode. And more to the point, I'm really excited to see what we can make. That doesn't mean I'm going to stop on tutorials. I'm still going to try and do as much of that. I've had great feedback on that too, so I want to try and do more of that as well. And I want to try and do stuff that's useful, not just doing a tutorial for tutorial's sake, but stuff that's useful and valuable to people. Let's see where this goes.